Welcome to Happy 90s and Ranik. So game week 11 concluded a day back with bunch of shocking results happening. How those results going to impact the league and the team for the future. We are going to discuss on how Spurs need to find the consistency, on how City needs to get better with their comeback, which they desperately need for matches lost back to back. That's not good for any top side. On how Arsenal can do better, which they are not doing. We're going to cover all that. But City first. Lost 2-1 to Brighton. I gave a prediction for a draw happening here, but instead it turns out City losing the match. They were unable to find a rhythm. The way with which Brighton found a way back into match, starting from the end of the first half until the second half. They were dominating everything. City, whereas, were struggling to find a proper play down in the middle. They were unable to find proper passes and work the ball around as much as Brighton were doing on the counters and with the way they attacked City back. And that was a beautiful win for Brighton. 2-1 they won. So a lot of things to be worried about. Pep Guardiola there. Of course, he's not playing his first team members. A lot of players they are missing. But that shouldn't go excuse for a team like City to be losing back-to-back fourth match now. And probably the international break will provide them some sort of relief to be, maybe they will get the players back. Of course, a couple of players will be back in action and they will definitely get better. That's hoped. And for the league as well, it will get little entertaining to see City bounce back and challenging for the title, which they of course do every season. Whereas Arsenal, they have a lot of things to sort. They lost previously to Newcastle and was expected that maybe they will do better in this game, which they did not. They had Odegaard back as well in this game against Chelsea, and they lacked the way with which they should be playing through the center. That was not happening. They were attacking a lot through the wings, both the sides though. For Arsenal, they need to do a bit better. As for Chelsea, we're going to discuss that further when we come to Chelsea part. For now, we move on to talk about the Spurs being inconsistent. I gave a prediction for them to win this tie 3-0, but their consistency needs to be settled in, else I don't see them going into the top 6 as the season ends, never mind the top 4. The Spurs losing it 2-1 to Ipswich Town, which meant Ipswich have won the first match of the season in the league, and every team in the league has now won the one match out of the 11 matches that they have played. Ipswich was the only side who were unable to win the match so far in the league. Of course, Wolves didn't win. We'll talk about that later on. And is that a Chelsea opportunity missed against Arsenal? Because previous game week 2 they played a draw against United, a 1-1 draw. Coming from that, they go on to play Arsenal. That was Chelsea's home, and they get a draw as well. People were expecting Chelsea to be winning this tie. I personally made a prediction of 2-1 win to Chelsea, but did not happen at all. There was a good chances for Chelsea as compared to Arsenal. One chance where Gusto had a open goal to be putting the header into it, but he did not do it. And that's not the thing which Chelsea will like. They had a match in their hand and should have won it, to be honest, but they did not. So it looks like they have dropped 4 points back to back. Of course, in that United game, United played way better than Chelsea played. So kudos to United for that draw which they played previous to this one. But on the other hand, Chelsea had again opportunity which they let it slip. Moving on to other result is Newcastle winning against Nottingham Forest. That was a prediction from me for Newcastle to win 2-1, which they win almost close enough, 3-1 win for Newcastle. So they look a bit in the rhythm after getting a win in the previous game week as well. They won against Arsenal 1-0 where no one expected them to. So maybe a good sign for Newcastle going further. Maybe in the future game weeks they will have better results going their way as well. After that, we come to talk about the league leaders Liverpool 2-0 victory against Aston Villa match, which was looking to be a tight one, but Liverpool gets a goal through Darwin Núñez, and later on when the match was about to go into the final 10 minutes, they get a score from Salah, who can't stop scoring, and now he has scored 10 goals and 10 assists overall from the 17 matches that he has played this season. So what a run of form he's having and has always been in that form ever since he's joined the club. So Liverpool go on top with 5 points clear of Manchester City. So it's over to the other teams if they want to give a challenge. They have to push on against the likes of Liverpool. Whereas the other 4 teams after City are Chelsea, Arsenal, Nottingham and Brighton on the same number of points, 19 points and 9 points behind. So that's looking more of uncatchable for the other teams that are placed between 3rd to 6th spot. For the likes of Arsenal, it's not looking good. Maybe they sack Arteta after the end of the season because you need trophies, and that has not happened with Arsenal since quite a time now. The only trophy that they won under Arteta was that FA Cup, which was side inherited from Unai Emery, the current Aston Villa manager. After that, they won Community Shield, which no one would call as a trophy at all. So things for Arteta won't look good if they keep continuing with the same way. As for Liverpool, they are on the top of the league table and they have next to play Southampton after the international break ends. So it's looking like pretty eased up for Liverpool currently, but you can't discard City off. City will try to and give their absolute best to bounce back and narrow down that gap. Now moving on to further result, Ruud van Nistelrooy's last match for United, where he go unbeaten after the 4 matches that he has managed for the team. They played one in the Cup, one they played in the Europa League, and before this they had a win as well. So 3 wins and a draw, which makes him unbeaten, and he did fairly well at United with that little time that he had to manage them. 4 games and they won against Leicester City 3-0. So that was expected. I gave a 2-0 prediction for United to win this tie, but they go on to win it 3-0 at home. So a bit of farewell for Van Nistelrooy, and new manager will come in and try to implement his ideas. We'll see how it works out for United going further in the league matches. At least everyone got out a point. That's on focus as well. That's what I said before with Ipswich win. Everyone in the league has gotten a point, win at least. So better for Ipswich Town, who are now out of the relegation zone at 8 points, and Crystal Palace have moved to the 18th spot now. But it's going to be a tough battle out there down the bottom of the league table. So remaining matches are West Ham versus Everton, which went as a draw. I gave a draw prediction as well because it looked like with the kind of rhythm both the sides having, with the kind of form they're having, draw seemed to be a fair result. Would have been the goals, but now the goals happening, and there were better moments from Everton keeper, who did his part in that draw against West Ham. We had finally the Wolves winning the match. I said in the predictions it's high time for them to at least win a game. They won 2-0 against Southampton, which will be a pleasing result for them. Of course, they still stay in that relegation zone with 6 points from the 11 matches. Maybe they pick the form from here on. It's for the Wolves to do. And anyways, the last match which we going to talk is Fulham winning against Crystal Palace. I gave a win prediction, of course, for Fulham to win it 2-1 and Palace scoring a goal, but none of that happened from Palace and they didn't get a goal but got 2-0 defeat on hands of Crystal Palace. Of course, we missed one more match, which is Bournemouth losing to Brentford. Win for Bournemouth was my prediction, 2-1 win, but instead it's Brentford winning it. A game which was leveled up until the halftime. 1-1 was the scoreline of the match, but right until the 60th minute mark, once Bournemouth got on to the lead, 2-1 lead, and then within 8 minutes Brentford comes with a comeback and gets a 2 goal, which stayed until the end of the match. 3-2 victory to Brentford. And that's a wrap up of all the matches which happened this game week 11. What happens further we'll know after the international break ends. And what was your favorite result of this game week? You can let me know in the comments. If you like the video, drop a like and subscribe as well.